thingy up. Where's the fucking... There we go.
You guys ready for this?
Oh, yeah.
Another fantastic episode of Inside the BJJ. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Inside BJJ. I am your host, I guess. I think I'm just the person that started doing it, so then you default become host. My name's Tim Freeman. I'm here with my you're like if you trained at New Wave, you would be on the junior team. Okay. So you're like a junior producer right now. And then we have Omar. Omar, I'm going to give you senior co-host status just because we have to delineate between you and Andrew.
Yeah.
I understand.
So
It's just a formality.
yeah.
It's fair.
Also, I'm going to put training wheels on the Roadcaster for you just to
I appreciate that.
remind you.
Yeah, I appreciate
Just
that.
falling off of it.
I'm going to fucking stab you.
Dude, I know. I think I'm actually angering Andrew right now.
I hope not.
I'm going to kill you. Yeah, man. It's good to be back, dude. Just wrapped up class. I had to teach fundamentals and do the live Thursday.
Why'd you do both?
Because Noah, the last couple fundamentals, he's been like calling me, going like, "Hey, you think you can cover?"
Dang.
I think he's at his girlfriend's house.
Oh, that dog.
Yeah. So I did that. I don't mind, but I'm leaving for Florida tomorrow. I got a pack
You
tonight.
just got back home.
I know.
Hey, back on the road.
Yeah. I know, dude.
Weary traveler.
What am I going to do? So we're supposed to have Jesse Taylor, JT Money, fresh off his appearance at Subversive, but we'll see. He said, "Let's do it, bro. Love to chat." So we'll see. I sent him the link. Hopefully he jumps in. But yeah, okay. So I want to remind you guys to check out our sponsors, and make sure you support them. We're talking about Salt. And I think we got a commercial.
Hit it.
I'm going to cue that commercial up for our good friends over at...
Being able to complete the climb to mastery requires the proper nutrition. This is why it's important to take in a potent blend of electrolytes that is in tune with your output and brings strength to your goals. This potent blend is only found in Salt Electrolytes. Salt targets your depleted electrolyte levels with a boost of hydration and health. It gives your body the baseline recovery it needs.
out saltelectrolytes.com. Use the discount code INSIDEBJJ. Save 15% at checkout. Did you notice in the Salt commercial, dude gets promoted to purple belt?
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he taps out the black belt.
That's pretty cool.
That.
They should in the background show like just like as they're showing like in the very end like Salt Electrolytes. In the background, the black belt puts his belt in the garbage and he walks off like he's
So instead of like 5 minutes ago, he was a blue belt. So you basically got tapped out by a blue belt.
yeah,
Yeah.
man. That was I just caught that the
I
dude
did
got
too.
promoted and then tapped the black belt out.
Man, I hope I can tap black belts out when I get a purple belt.
Yeah, you won't be able to, but
Maybe I can if I drink salt.
Hey.
that is a definite possibility, Omar. I'm glad you brought that out. SaltElectrolytes.com. Inside BJJ 15.
I like that.
Yeah. Okay, so I just got back from San Diego on Monday, and I kind of made it. So I made a trip out there to do the pre-show and play-by-play for Subversive, and kind of happened at the last minute. It's like,
Oh, it was the last minute thing.
yeah, it's kind of like one of those things where they're talking about it, but they're not sure. And they're like, yeah, maybe we're not positive. when you finally got the go ahead to get it, it was like 4 days before.
Damn.
So, you know,
Get a flight quick.
yeah, get a flight quick, get situated, get out there, and then the night before, or I think the night before, they're like, "Yo, can you do the press conference?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I can do the press conference." So then, you know, I'm like, that shouldn't be too bad. But I didn't realize like what they meant was, can you create the press conference?
No,
shit.
can you do the press?
Yeah, can you talk to everybody, schedule it, get them
Yeah.
all set up, like figure out a way to get them in and out, which I did the best that I could do. It was a little rough. And when I first started, I forgot that I was supposed to hold a microphone.
Yeah.
And I had it on the table. I flubbed up my words a little bit. I got off to a rocky start, but we did get the plane up in the air. I feel like the press conference was, if you had to give it a grade, it was probably like a B-.
B minus.
Yeah, like it was like, you know, you did it.
Yeah.
You got the job done. Could have did a better job with more than, say, 12 hours notice. I probably could have did a way better job.
Much better job. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's rough, man. 12 hours is, for something like that, it's not that much.
No, and there's a lot of athletes on the card that
Yeah.
I didn't know yet, just because, you know, hey, look, if I'm not going to do commentary for it, I'm not going to go study the entire undercard. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just not going to do that. So I had a lot of homework to do, and I had started doing it, but I hadn't gotten through all of it. So
Yeah.
it made the press conference a little tricky. Some of the questions were a little more generic, like, hey, what would your advice be to your opponent? And you got his opponent sitting across the table from him, and I'm thinking, these are like trash talk generator questions.
Yeah.
The athletes weren't biting too much. My advice is, well, I just want to say thank you for taking the match. It's like, no. This is where you fight with your words, not with your hands.
I mean, that's the different part, though. Like, I don't know, if you think of like a sports thing, like baseball or football or whatever,
yeah.
they always say little generic things like that, right? Well,
That's so annoying.
I hope the other team, you know, I'm sure we'll beat them, but I'm sure they'll give us a hard time or whatever. You know, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. You know what? Now that you say that, I would have to say that there is a little bit of a contradictory message that goes out to the athletes. And one is, when the Olympics were going, I heard the statement, and I'll paraphrase more or less, that goes like, our athletes are not professional enough to actually be in the Olympics. Like, can you imagine if they interviewed Gordon Ryan, right? Okay, and that's probably true. But those kinds of athletes are boring to talk to.
Yeah.
When you're on the up and you're trying to build an organization, trying to build something, you need your athletes to be characters. They need to be
Right.
larger than life. They need to have something to say. Now, once you have like this established mega machine called the Olympics that's already running, now it's not necessarily about the athletes. You don't need the athletes. Like, you're going to get a crop of athletes every year.
Yeah.
And they're all pretty much going to say the same things. But the ones that do have some character and some flamboyance usually are the ones that get the endorsement deals. It's just, can you do it without saying fuck this and fuck that and talking about all the other shit that polarizes people?
Yeah. Are you?
Yeah.
If you are not good enough to get 20 medals and merit sponsorships based on that,
Right.
Say some wild shit.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
So the press conference went okay, and then we went back to the Hard Rock Hotel. We did the press conference at Swagoo Burgers. It's like a Wagyu burger chain, or I don't know if it's a chain. I think they have more than one though. The burger was really good too. Big shout out to them for hosting it, sponsoring it. That was cool. So we did that, and then we went back to the Hard Rock and we did a production meeting to basically run through the next day.
Yeah.
And they're like, all hands tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. And I've never pulled this card, but I did pull it. Okay, because I'm like, 7 a.m. What? Because we had this meeting at about 4 p.m.
Yeah.
on Saturday evening. Now, a lot of people were like, we're going to go out and have a blast, like, you know. And my plan was, I'm going to order pizza in the room,
Watch
like,
Murder, She Wrote.
and study all
Go
these,
to bed early.
prep for all these matches, because I wasn't happy with the press conference.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I am going to show up tomorrow with ammunition. I'm coming
Coming in hot.
ultra prepared.
Yeah.
So fuck all that. I'm staying in my room tonight. I'm getting the shit done. And tomorrow when I get up, I'm going to finish if there's anything left over. That was my plan. So when they said 7 a.m. call time, I was just like, hey, Raph, I'm talent, right? Like, talent doesn't have to get up at 7 a.m. and go down there, right? And Raph is like, you're absolutely right, sir. You do not have to get up and go down there. And I was like, fuck. Raph is the man, dude. He will just go to bat for you, dude.
Yeah.
100% he'll go to bat for you.
Damn.
When you work for him, he runs it as a producer as if like he runs it like a real show, like a real television show. He doesn't run it like a guy that likes jujitsu who knows how to work cameras, which is how everybody else runs it. And they treat you like dog shit.
Yeah.
You know, he's not like that at all. He treats you like, no. If you're the person that's doing that, then you do that. You get really great at that, you know.
Yeah.
Now, he's not beyond going like, hey, we need your help loading up the car. Well, yeah, I don't care.
Right.
Like, that's all I'm doing anyway most of the time. But it was nice to be able to just pull that car just for that and then actually go and prepare. I wish it was because I was going to, like, sleep in or something, but
It was to work.
it was to work. But I got prepped, and I felt good. I had a bunch
You had
of
a better
notes.
run?
A way better run. I felt like the play-by-play went well. I worked with Kendall Rusine was the lead anchor, and then we had Justin Jackson, who's a friend of Mike. Mike's last name just dropped out of my head. I'll grab it in a second. It was one of his buddies who also kind of filled out the group, and that was his first ever play-by-play situation, and I felt like he did okay. Yeah, he did fine. So that was pretty cool. Kendall Rusing did really well. She's super good job at doing the play-by-play for it.
Yeah.
She added some color. I thought it went good. There was one match earlier in the event that I actually thought could be problematic. So there were two guys who were competing against each other. Let's see if I could find the match notes. Yeah, okay. So it was the match is Nicholas Hurtado and Javier Garcia.
Oh,
Okay. So the match they have ends in this spot. Hurtado has Garcia in a triangle armbar, and he's extending the arm, and Garcia picks him up. Now, in Subversive, the cool thing about, and this was a combat jiu-jitsu match.
Did
so
you have to let go? Or?
No. So in Subversive, you could slam.
Oh,
Okay. And you could slap during the EBI overtime rounds.
let's
So
go.
I really like that because it kind of persuades you to not try to ride the clock out and think
Yeah.
you're just going to win in overtime because you can get smacked
can
the
still
fuck
get
up.
hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Hurtado picked up Garcia, and then the ref stopped it while he was midair. And I thought it was because they do have a no spiking rule, so you can't drop someone on their head.
Right.
And the way that Hurtado was like extending out on the arm, his head would have hit the ground. So I thought that the ref was just going like, hey, no spiking.
Yeah.
The ref goes, you tapped. And Hurtado's like, or Garcia's like, I didn't tap. And it
Right.
became like a huge controversy. And the coaches, PJ Barge came on, and Eddie Bravo, and the
Oh,
other dudes'
shit.
coaches, they were all in the mat, and they blah, blah, blah. And then they did this ad hoc, right out of nowhere. We're going to just look at the replay. We're
Yeah.
just going to look at the phone. We're going to look at someone's phone. We're going to look at it. So they look at it. They're like, okay, well, we're going to restart you in the position.
Oh.
So they're trying to put Garcia in a triangle armbar with his arm extended. And he's not standing, but on
Okay.
the ground,
I got you.
right? But they're and he's like trying to, the positional
Yeah.
fight when they try to reset you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he can't get it. He can't get it. And so it won't work. They're arguing about it, and I think Garcia says, screw it, I'm not going to do it. Forget it. Like, we're done. And
Oh,
so they
really?
call the fight.
Oh.
And it becomes, like a thing, and the crowd's all heated. I thought it might pop off then. I thought these guys might just scrap with each other because that's what it seemed like. They actually gave Garcia the mic, which I have no idea why they did that. Rule number 1, never, ever give the microphone away.
Right.
You never do that.
Yeah, you hold on to that.
You hold that fucker in your hand,
Yeah.
and you let him talk, and then you bring it back when you decide it's time. You never give anyone the microphone, dude. They gave him the mic. He went center stage while his opponent, Hurtado, was in the corner of the mat area, and he's like, this guy don't want to fight me. He's basically talking shit to the whole crowd.
Yeah, and he's got a mic.
And luckily, Hurtado was a little more level-headed that he didn't flip out.
Yeah.
He just let it go.
He walked away.
I was like, dude, if he asked for the mic, this is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
You can't be letting everybody get their own diss track in after the match, you know?
Yeah.
So it worked out, and it was mainly good. There was a few notable matches on there that were really good. Abby Montez and Lauren Garcia was a great match. Montez looked real good.
Yeah.
That was Combat Jiu-Jitsu. And then Raina Willing, Jocko's daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
She looked real good against Chantel Rivas. I believe she got an armbar. Jocko was there in her corner. That was kind of cool.
And she just recently got purple belt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's
awesome.
That was an awesome one. Jesse Taylor lost to Jared Fichetti. Jared Fichetti is just like a dude who is a wrestler. I believe he was in the Marines, and he comes out with like this giant bear skin over him. It was so cool. He's such a good dude.
Sweet.
I was going to try to get him on tonight, but apparently Raph had already
Called him
snapped him up for grappling hour.
Mm.
And so I'm like, okay, you motherfucker. No, so I'm like, well, we'll do it next week probably. Noah Chin won the middleweight title, beating Matt Cox. And
Nice.
then Team Phase was Alex Enriquez, Alex Enriquez, and then Gerard James and Alex Grandy. And they beat Megan Penning, Travis Thomas, who you should probably know. They call him the Praying Mantis. He comes here quite a bit.
He's awesome.
And then Marcus the Joker Perez. So overall, it was some pretty dope fights. There were some great submissions. I thought the energy in the crowd was awesome. The people had a good time. They sold out that venue. It was on the rooftop at the Hard Rock, San
that's cool. I
Diego
didn't
in the
realize that-
evening.
I didn't realize that was a venue. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really, really
How many
cool.
people do you think it was?
Probably, I heard somebody say 2,000. I don't know if there was that many people up there, to be honest. I don't know what I don't really know.
Yeah.
I was stuck at that table talking,
Yeah.
the whole time, but I'm not sure. And then the main event happens, and Grandy and Marcus Perez were kind of going back and forth at the press conference a little bit. It seemed good-natured, but it did seem competitive,
Yeah.
and I thought, okay. And I had hung out with Marcus Perez a little bit in the 2 days.
Did the
leading up
press
to
was the press conference pretty hot? Like pretty, like charged?
No,
Like,
no. That's why I give it a B-.
Okay.
Like everyone's got to bring the energy.
Yeah.
I got to bring the energy. The crowd's got to bring the energy, and the athlete's got to bring the energy.
Yeah.
And if someone doesn't bring it, then it throws it off a little bit. And
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu athletes, and I'm not saying that this is all their fault, but jiu-jitsu athletes need to get a little bit better at playing the game.
Yeah.
They need to understand that like this is your opportunity to shape the narrative about who you are as an athlete. Because if you're just expecting people to randomly find your matches in these events and then become a fan of you because you did a submission, how many highlight reels do you have?
Yeah.
Like most guys don't have that many. Yeah,
many.
you might be winning, but you won. You beat him on points. You beat him on EBI overtime. Maybe you wore him down and took his back and choked him. But it's not like you did
not
something
like-
that's
yeah.
getting 6 million views.
Right.
So what you do have an opportunity to do is paint that picture for yourself when someone puts a microphone and
Yeah.
a camera in front of you. And there's so many of them, they're just not prepared. They don't know what to say.
Right.
And I don't know if they're thinking in those terms.
Hmm.
But if you're trying to make money and do this as a career,
Yeah.
then you better figure out what you're going to say, and you better practice it and have it ready.
Yeah. It's got to be part of your
It has to.
game. You know,
And if you suck, then I think Clay Haywood's right. Get a manager. Get a manager.
Somebody to talk for you.
Get somebody
Yeah.
that can do most of your talking for you.
you give them a cut and
Yeah, or not. It's jujitsu.
true.
You know,
Just
Yeah.
have a friend in your corner who's good at shit talking.
Yeah.
have a student. You're a purple belt. Part of getting your brown belt is you have to represent me as my publicist,
Yeah.
my public relations manager.
Just talk smack for me.
Be in charge of your Twitter.
There you go. Yeah. So, so there's that. You know, I think that's something that they definitely can work on. Definitely not something that is unfixable. It's something that's happened in many sports. We've seen this kind of thing
I
happen.
mean, do you think that UFC fighters have that pretty well? Like,
Some do and some don't.
yeah.
You know, and one of the things you'll hear Rogan or Cormier, you'll hear him say, you need to have something ready, man. Call somebody out. Say what you want. If you want a fight against somebody, say it.
Yeah.
You know,
It seems to me as a casual fan that Dana usually responds to that kind of stuff fairly positively.
you can influence Dana White 100%.
Yeah.
You could probably pay a company to start a fake grassroots campaign online to get you a fight, and you could probably get your fight.
Oh, for sure.
So,
Yeah, if we could do that with elections, we could definitely do that with fights.
and the reason why that works is because the promotions don't want to know who the best is. They want to know who sells the most tickets.
The most tickets.
That's
yeah.
who the best is for the promotion.
Yeah.
And so they're going to put those guys in there. That's why guys like CM Punk show up and they fight twice in the UFC, and they're not really ready for the UFC, but they sell fucking
That was
pay-per-views, man.
ass and seats both
Mhm.
times he
Both
fought.
times. Brock Lesnar,
Same thing.
same thing. Conor McGregor, same thing.
Yeah.
There's some people that everyone wants to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's how that works. And I think our jiu-jitsu fighters and competitors and athletes need to sort out who they want to represent themselves as.
Mm.
So if you're going to be the serious athlete guy, then you need to be that guy.
Yeah.
Don't be the guy that just doesn't know who he's going to be. That's
Yeah.
a problem. Because
Wow.
you have you have the power to shape that narrative. Don't let fucking Reddit do it.
Yeah, God forbid.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
God
Yeah.
forbid.
That's a
Do
good
it for
point.
yourself.
Ugh.
So
Speaking of guys that have mastered that, Sean O'Malley, he's fighting this weekend.
yeah, man. Look at this as a guy that came up on the Contender Series.
Mm-hmm.
You know, showed out, talked shit,
Yeah.
kept getting better,
Mhm.
backed it up, right?
All the while having a great relationship that evolved with Dana and the UFC.
Yeah, and keeping a really strong social media presence.
Yep.
And kind of
Yeah.
understanding the game.
Yeah.
You know,
When
as someone
he-
who's 46, he looks like a dork when he dyes his hair green and yellow and wears stupid glasses, but I get it,
Yeah.
right? It's
Right.
necessary.
It's
Yeah, why not?
That's how you
there's
get
no
the-
way to confuse him with anybody
No.
else.
There's
Like,
no way.
yeah.
And he's not. If he would have came out like I'm a badass. He's not. His persona is not 100%. I'm a badass. It's
Yeah.
also like I'm cool. I do stupid shit. I joke around.
Mhm.
He would have got lost in the Conor McGregor sauce
Mm.
because that's when he was starting to make his come
Yeah.
up. Conor was the king, and all the little imitation Conors. We saw dudes with the same chest things and the
Yeah.
hairdo, and they're gonna fight like him.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "Oh, that's a copy." We don't. Who cares?
Yeah.
Nobody wants the copy.
Derivative. excuse me.
Derivative. Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
So O'Malley was smart. He's like, I'm gonna
go left.
yeah.
You know,
I'm
like
gonna be
Connor's out here in suits and like looking proper and shit, but I'm gonna go looking like
Yeah, Sean's out
goofy
here in floor length purple fur.
yeah.
yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Connor's looks like those suits are the most uncomfortable suits.
They look tight.
they're so fucking
They look
tight.
tight, man. They
He's
look a little
obsessed with. I bet he's always like, "Can you bring it down a size, mate?
tight. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bring it
I
in.
want to look swole.
I want to look swell."
I get that.
Yeah. So a big fight popped off. You know, Grandy had a couple hard clubs on Marcus Perez. Perez complained about it. Ref didn't do anything. And then Perez straight up cracked Marcus right in the face.
Wait, how
Like-
many times did he let him club him without doing anything?
He got clubbed twice. He complained both times to the ref, and both times the ref basically shrugged it off.
Did they look hard?
they looked hard.
Yeah.
This is my opinion. And I like Alex Grandy. So if you hear this, Alex, don't take this any other way than this is just my own professional opinion,
Yeah.
watching it as a broadcaster. Grandy was getting the better of all of the exchanges.
Mm.
And as soon as the match started, Grandy picked him up and ran him across the mats and just fucking power slammed him, dude. Like a wild takedown, like a crazy. Matt Hughes run you across the octagon, jump and slam you onto the canvas. Like,
I think I saw a highlight of that. It looked cool.
it was like a statement, okay? And you could tell during the exchanges that Marcus was getting a little frustrated. And Grandy brought a crowbar to that crevice and was like, let's see if we could break that thing fucking open. Like, let's crack this guy.
Yeah.
And so there was a little talking, not a lot, but there was the boom that's just hard club, just hard. It was probably not necessary. And Marcus complains to the ref does nothing. And then a couple seconds later, crack, gets him again. Marcus complains to the ref does nothing. And Marcus gives this like little like, oh, it's cool, don't worry. Like,
Yeah.
it's good. And I knew when I saw him do that, I was like, he's gonna fucking retaliate. That's a tell.
Yeah.
What that is a tell, right? And people do these things before they assault people. Actually, it's really common. And not to caveat too much, but like self-defense wise,
Yeah.
it's valuable to pay attention to that. People do, it's called grooming. They'll groom before they punch you. They'll do things like wiping their face, doing their brow, adjusting their hat, adjusting their pants, fixing their sleeve, and then the
Oh.
next thing that comes is the sucker punch.
Yeah.
So when you're in a confrontation, a verbal confrontation with somebody, and
Yeah.
you don't know if it's going to be physical, one is you shouldn't be in striking distance. If you really think
Right.
that you should take a step back, you should put your hands up like this and just talk, right? But if somebody starts doing these things, and then
Yeah.
you need to take another step
Yeah.
back,
You
right?
just
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do. So
We see it at the bar a lot.
all the time. It's super common. So Perez does like, it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good. And he's like that, and then he's like, what? And then he cracks him. And the crowd's like, boo! The refs, you can't do that. Everyone's screaming at him. And to be honest, I kind of felt like, am I the only one who's seeing what's going on right now? Like he shouldn't have cracked him.
yeah.
But in my opinion, the ref should have stepped in after that second time Marcus complained,
Yeah.
and he should have warned them both. A, the next one of you fuckers that does this is going to get DQ'd.
Yeah.
So fucking keep it clean and
Yeah.
knock
He
it
should have
off.
taken control of
He
that.
should have taken control of it, but he didn't take control of it. He let the athletes take control of it.
Mm.
And when the athletes are running crazy on emotion, they can't control it. It's not their job. It's not their place, and they're
Yeah.
not good at it.
That's what the ref is there
That's
for,
the
right?
ref's job.
He's got to bring it down.
Yes. And the ref didn't take control, and the audience picked up on it, so
Yeah.
the audience got out of control. That's
Yeah.
my own personal opinion.
I mean, it's a valid.
It's
theory,
easy
you know?
to
Yeah.
do. It's a combat jiu-jitsu match. It's a newish thing.
Yeah.
It's a commission that doesn't work a lot with the jiu-jitsu community. You know, it's like a slightly different rule set than the other striking sports. You can't strike standing. You can't strike on the ground. But then he struck him standing, and it's like,
Yeah.
right? So I get it. They're slapping each other already. So it's not like
Yeah.
it's not like totally out of place.
Yeah.
And so the ref gives his warning, and then the match finishes, and there's nothing.
Yeah.
It appears that Marcus didn't understand the EBI rules, because when the escapes would happen, he constantly tried to continue the action, and they would have to like pull him off. So it ends, and everyone knows Grandy's going to win because he had the better escape times, blah, blah, blah. So they're going to do the thing where they raise the hands, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, it's like considered pretty bad sportsmanship to walk off and not
Sure.
stand there for that part of it, because that's the winners. That's part of their
prize.
they're part of winning. Yes,
Yeah.
part of their prize
Yeah.
is they get their fucking hand raised, and you fucking don't.
And you don't.
And that's part of losing. You stand there and you clap for him or put your head down or say no or whatever, but you fucking eat it.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, I'm not going to do it. So he goes to walk off, and everyone starts booing him. And there's one particular section where the spectators were really boisterous, like pushing it too far. It's like, this guy just got done fighting.
Yeah.
You cannot get in his
No.
face.
Fuck no.
And got in his face, and I can't tell exactly what happened. Now, look, if the spectator didn't hit him, then you can't kick him. You can't do nothing. You're a
Yeah.
pro. You're a pro. And even though he's not in, he shouldn't be doing what he's doing. The spectator's kind of a little bit out of pocket. You're a professional. They're paying you to be here. So eat your shit sandwich. Go back to the dressing room.
By the way, when you and the other broadcasters, how were you oriented towards this thing?
We were
Were you
sitting
looking at his back as he got.
We were
pushed?
sitting at a table like this, and the table was at the corner of the mat was right in front of us. The right hand near side corner.
Okay.
They were at the left hand farce. They were as far away as they could be from the table.
The diagonal.
They were at the diagonal.
Yeah.
But this particular spectator, that area had been kind of
Rowdy.
rowdy, a little bit, not out of control, just a little bit.
Yeah.
And so something happened, and Marcus Spartan kicked this person, and then
Shit popped
the
off.
crowd and everybody went crazy. There was like 25 people in there. Now I'm saying this: if you're in the crowd and you're not a badass, you're a fucking idiot for running onto the mat. You are goddamn stupid.
Yeah.
Because that place was filled with savages.
Killers.
Yeah.
Like savages. And so to think that you're going to run in and do something is you're just asking. You're asking to go to the hospital.
You're asking to at least go night-night.
Yeah. So, I heard of someone getting sucker punched
I'm sure.
after the fact. Like after it cooled down, a little second
Oh.
skirmish broke out.
Oh, fuck.
Someone got sucker punched, and it was a real savage that got sucker punched, and the guy that sucker punched him, not a savage.
Oh, fuck.
And Savage Man is so savage, he ate the punch and looked at him, and then just put his hands in the dude's armpits, picked him up off the ground, and said, "Why the fuck did you do that?" And then handed him to the security guy and said, "Take care of this."
I would have pissed myself.
The security guy just wrapped him like this.
If
cracked
another
him.
grown man picked me up by the armpits, I'd have pissed my pants.
Dude.
Like, oh, God.
That you just sucker punched
Yeah.
in the face
Yeah.
while he was bending over to get his sandals. The dude clacked him, and he just got up and looked at you. It's like, damn.
Are you sure about that?
Do you apologize? I'm real sorry, man.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
You understand the mistake you just made?
I don't
you
even
don't
know why I
even
did that.
You don't even do it in the first
I
place.
slipped.
You know?
I slipped.
Fuck.
I know. So, overall, though, I thought it was a good event. I had a great time. They asked me to come back.
Sounds like fun.
Nice.
Yeah. So,
Not lying. Sounds great.
yeah.
That does sound like a fun, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy, right? Like, that's right at the edge of where you want to be in this sport at this time. Like, you
Yeah.
have got to have some, what do you call it? Intrigue, some like drama,
Wild shit.
Wild shit. Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
for business at the end of the day. And I don't know if you're able to comment on this, but I mean, that's the first highlight
you
of
know
the
what they
entire
say.
event that I saw. So I know they're
Oh,
running,
yeah.
they're running with it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean,
Any
I can't
publicity
speak.
is good publicity.
I don't
right?
speak
So-
for Subversive.
Yeah, for sure.
But it appears to be that they're running with it, like in the sense of they put the highlights out there. They're
Yeah.
addressing it. They're not.
I mean, we're talking about it.
I think it would be good if nothing happens. And here's what I mean. Probably someone's getting suspended by the athletic commission because the commission was overseeing the combat jiu-jitsu fights.
Yeah.
So
I forgot about that.
that's
That is a
that-
black eye for that, right? Like,
That's not good. And who's to? And it doesn't sound like it's a big deal. It sounds like it's okay. But what if the venue doesn't like it?
Yeah.
What if they're upset?
Yep.
And then what if they're like, our group is never going to rent to you guys again?
Yeah.
That won't be good.
Yeah.
So, and then also just for jiu-jitsu as a professional sport, what if there was someone in the attendance there that day who has the keys to invest a gigantic sum of money, maybe on behalf of a corporate system or setup.
Some entity, yeah.
Some entity that's thinking about, and so they send somebody out to scout and check out, and then this shit pops off.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, no, this isn't for us.
Yeah.
So everyone, the thing is this, is if it's going to become professional, everyone has to start being professional that's involved with the shows that are presenting themselves as professional. If you're just being like, hey, this is Billy Bob's Backyard Brawl Fest, do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Do what you want.
Yeah.
But if you're saying like, we're a professional organization, we're paying the athletes, we're like putting on a high quality production, we're doing this,
Yeah.
we're getting sponsors, like we're doing this as big and as best as we can. Everyone's got to get on board then, especially the athletes. It's a show and they're the main performers.
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
I think that they would do with pretty much what you said. I agree with pretty much what you said, but I think it would be an added benefit if it got to the point where it's popular enough that was just allowed to, or not allowed, but known that something like that was going to happen. But then the commission was like, just like with hockey, people are getting sussies. You're getting suspended. You're getting suspended. That's it. Next couple events you're not at, but we're all going to acknowledge that that's your penance.
Yeah.
Come back, whatever. Hockey players get suspended in a couple games. It sucks, but then they come back and it's all good.
Maybe that's the thing. Maybe the rule is like in hockey. If these guys crack off, let them fight. Anybody who runs in, automatic, you're out. You're suspended. Nobody, you can't run into a hockey fight. You got to let the dudes fight.
Yeah.
And they let them fight.
Yeah. If you press your way in, you're going to the box too, or
Right.
suspended too.
Yeah.
So
Look, they're already fighting. So they're slapping each other in the face.
Yeah.
So, it's funny. You rarely see guys get in a fight after an MMA match because they already fought and settled it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In combat jujitsu, though, they're just like, well, you didn't technically beat me in a real fight. So,
Man.
it's like, I just out-grappled you and slapped you around. Like, I pretty much beat you up,
Yeah.
Damn close to it.
you know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
They would all beat me, so I'm just talking shit. But
Yeah.
I feel like that's again, they would all beat me, but I feel like that's a weak take.
I mean, I'm just
Yeah.
saying, if each one of those slaps was a close-handed fist, what difference does it make? Like
Boss root and fuck people up with open palm.
Here we go.
true.
We got some great comments here on Instagram, dude.
Yeah, we do. I was getting to a moment.
Let's see. Pretty boy Tim P said, you all three look healthy and in shape.
Hell yeah.
Sweet.
Let's see who we got. Rub your hands like Birdman. I like that, Hector. Hector 10P. He just got accepted to veterinarian school.
Hell yeah,
Hey,
Hector. Good for you, buddy.
congratulations.
Fuck yeah. And then Jared Ficetti joined. Jesse is the real bro. Yeah, we love that guy too. Style Jitsu, what's up? Ficetti said, Tim, you're a legend. Aw, thank you. I'll send you the money for saying that.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Doug.
He's on retainer.
Style Jitsu said, Tim has the most based takes.
Based.
Thanks, man. Danny XS. Hey, Danny. I miss Danny, dude.
We all miss Danny.
Bruh.
Danny, come to class. We miss you. We love you.
You know what? I think Danny's a vampire and he's not telling us, and that's why
Yeah,
he can't
that's why
come.
he can't come.
If he's not telling me, that's upsetting because I also want to be one.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I also am a vampire.
Yeah. Well, I've been LARPing as one since I was 12.
Listen, dude, I've already made up my mind. If the vampires come or the Walking Dead zombies, bruh, bite me right now. I don't give a fuck. I'll just be a zombie or a vampire.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Vampire's
be a
way better
vampire?
deal.
Fuck yes.
Ooh, heartbeat.
Live forever, stay up all night, bite people on the neck. I'm down.
I have a problem with the live forever part. Other than that, everything else sounds good.
Yeah,
don't
that's
wanna
what I
live
was gonna
forever?
say.
I haven't
Live
checked
for-
out since I was
live
12.
forever.
This is it. I'm good.
Bruh. Hey, Jesse Reyes, what's up, man? It's good to see you, buddy. Listen, if I could be a vampire, like, I would be straight up fucking miffed if one of you guys were a vampire and you wouldn't jump me in the gang. I'd be legit irritated. With
I
that.
would, if I was, I'm not saying I am, but if I was, I'd be like, hey, man, I'll make you one, but I need that black belch.
And I'd be like, there's no shortcuts, Andrew.
Yeah.
Not even for vampirism.
Andrew, even though you will never die, you will never live long enough to become a black belt.
I assume that's actually closer to the truth. So I get it.
By the time you get to black belt and Nogi, they're going to get rid of the belt system.
Dude, I would love that, to be honest. I'm not even trying to play into it to make it like I don't care because I do kind of because I know it's true, but
Yeah.
Think they ever would?
I think they should.
Get rid of the belt system?
Yeah.
I think they should.
I don't want them to.
No.
It's not good for schools. Then it turns into like everything's just like practice,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is okay. That's
see
not a
that.
terrible model. No-gi is a bigger challenge to get students in than gi is. And that's why the gi's not going to go away. When they go like the gi's dead, it's going to go away. Okay. What they mean to say is watching professional gi jiu-jitsu is dead. That's true.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to watch it. Nobody's going to pay money for it. But you're always going to have people that want to put that goddamn karate uniform on and LARP as a martial artist.
Yeah.
Not that they're all LARPers. I trained in the gi for
Sure.
11 years.
You have
but
a black belt in the gi.
I have a black belt
Let's
in
be
the gi.
clear.
Yeah.
I LARPed hardcore. But I'm just saying
You have
that.
1,000 episodes since 2012 saying that you like the gi as well.
I just think that it's easier to get new people to do it because they put the jacket
Yeah.
on. They
We
put
were just
the
talking about this.
Yeah, and it's like it's a little easier to learn, and they
Yeah.
have the handles, and they come to no-gi class, and they're like they don't know who's what for anybody, and they got to roll with everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's different, and everyone's training hard. It's more about can you do it, and not do you look like you can do it.
Yeah.
Because there's an element of that in jiu-jitsu. It's very stylistic in the gi and like.
I didn't like, so I trained gi the first year, and what I didn't like was, so I sucked. I was told white belt sucked, but and
Yeah.
that's part of it. I still suck, but I would focus more on what that person's belt was and expect to lose versus can I try
yeah.
what I've been
Right.
learning?
You respect the belt too much.
I guess.
And I think the hierarchy is overly played out because it's on everyone's waist
Yeah.
at all times. It's always line up and you stand there and you do that and you bow to him and you get to go first and you got to go second and black belts only, purple belts enough, blue belts. It's just it puts a certain weird like harness on the student body that then the instructor has so much leverage to move around and control through the rankings and moving people up and down. And they believe like as they move up, they have some more kind of like,
Yeah.
you don't have shit. We're just fucking people. Like, you know, the guy that runs the gym because his name is on the lease and he's financially liable for what happens.
Yeah.
Right. And whoever's teaching the techniques are teaching the techniques, and you could either do them or you can't. And everyone's at varying degrees of being able to do them or not. We don't need a hierarchy necessarily.
Right.
There's a lot in the chat going on saying combat gi jiu-jitsu is
That'd
the
be
answer.
dope.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, well, I think it's
That's Sambo, by the way.
yeah, combat and
That's
listen,
Sambo.
that's why these Russians are so fucking good at MMA because they grow up doing combat sambo. The problem with combat jiu-jitsu is that you can't strike on the feet.
There's no headlocks at Sambo also.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
You can groin strike, though.
You cannot grow. I'm sorry. In combat, in combat sambo, can you strike on the feet, or is it?
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
you can't strike on the ground.
I think with one knee down. I'm not
I
familiar
think
with
when
my
they're in the
Sambo rules.
grappling, like if they're grappling,
You might
it's
not be
the
able- you
opposite
might
of
be right.
combat
You
jiu-jitsu.
might be
Oh.
right. That's right.
And I think that's where combat sambo is better
Mm.
because for MMA you need to be able to strike, hit throws, and takedowns from your feet.
Mm.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to do it on the ground also, but it's super important on your feet.
Yeah.
And those Russians have such a strong base
Sambo, but with pants. I get
because of it. They do. Sambo with a singlet.
that. Yeah, Sambo with pants is what Fichetti said.
I'm gonna bring the cape in. It's gonna be like we're gonna
Can
have
you
to wear a
imagine-
cape.
Can you imagine like lapel or noose choking somebody with a cape?
It'd be awesome.
That'd be so cool.
Why don't we just get rid of the jacket and just put a rope around everyone's neck and just be like, this is how we're playing the game. You get the rope, choke someone
You
with
get
it.
the rope, you win.
That's what the jacket is.
Yeah.
That's all we're doing. It's a makeshift rope.
Yeah, you blew my mind the first time you were like, yeah, it's a jacket with a belt that you wear around your waist, but sewed into the chest. I'm like, it fucking is.
That's what the lapel
I
is.
know.
It's literally a fucking belt sewed
Yeah.
into the stitching of the jacket.
So technically, my black gi, I already have a black belt. which
And
is
they're
pretty
like,
sick.
oh yeah, people wear jackets. They don't wear belts around their neck though.
right? Yeah, they have flimsy like zip ups.
But you can't. I do think the gi is very, and we talked about this. I think the gi is very helpful, especially when it comes to defense, because you can't make too many mistakes in the gi without paying for the mistake. Like especially like positionally and what you do with your arms. If you let your the example I always use is like if you let your elbow cross your center line no-gi, a lot of times you could just boom pull it back. And if
Yeah.
we're sweaty, it's like haha.
Yeah.
If you don't fucking close that path off immediately, I get it back.
Yeah.
But with the jacket, I do this and you just grab the material.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, can't get it back.
Lever's
Got to
gone.
pay for the mistake.
Yeah.
Anytime you do something wrong, it's much easier for your partner to grip you and then make you pay for the mistake. So,
Therefore, slowing it down.
yeah, so part of your defense is like grip maintenance. The whole time you're constantly clearing these sticky connections and then trying to go. And so you get a better sense of like your defensive timing from the gi. You lose that no gi because you can kind of be like
Yeah.
fast and loose.
And that super makes sense for people that are relatively new, you know?
Yeah.
Because the first thing you generally, my observation might be wrong, but the first thing you usually get better at is defensive stuff because you're tired of getting pounded your first
Well,
year.
yeah, that's all you
right?
get to do.
That's all you get mauled.
Yeah.
So you finally learn how to frame up correctly in side control, or you finally learn how to get somebody off a mount by using some UPA sweeps and all, you know, the kind of
Yeah.
grips that you're talking about and that grip maintenance. And then, so I've noticed people that don't really play too aggressively are usually fonder of the gi.
Yeah. Well, because they spend so much time defensively. Now, on the flip side, I would say that no-gi makes your offense better
Yeah.
because you learn how to do everything without the jacket. You learn the control, the actual, like, how do I control a person without this fabric to hold on to?
Mm-hmm.
You learn where the right handles are. You learn how to really properly apply pressure and how to be tight. Like, you can
Yeah.
kind of get away with using the jacket to cover up for a lot of that.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm going to stretch this lapel around and grab it real tight. And it's like, you're fucking holding on to this giant piece of material. This is not realistic. If I get rid of that, you don't know how to position yourself
Yeah.
to hold this person.
Yeah, things like Lachlan's like worm guard and stuff, I think is rad. But
Yeah.
if that's like what you rely on heavily, I don't know why it would be, but just as a bad example, if that's what you rely on, you're not going to get too
Yeah.
far with that. Every grip in no gi works in gi,
I think
which is nice.
the real, I actually do believe this. I don't know how to implement it though. I think that the gi is a training tool, not a competition uniform format. I think that the gi is like the donut that you put on your baseball bat and you swing in it in the on deck circle.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I like
makes
that.
sense.
I
And
like
then when
that.
you're ready to go hit, you pop, you take that donut off and you go fucking hit.
You whack it
That's what
homers.
the gi is. You put that thing on, you explicitly train your defense with it, you use it in certain contexts, you allow it to help you as a training tool, but when you're actually going to do your shit, you take that fucking thing
Yeah.
off.
Mm.
The problem is these guys fell in love with playing baseball with the donut on their bat. Yeah, that's what it is, dude. They want to play with the training tools. They don't want to actually like
Go and
do.
use the
Yeah,
tool.
it's just and that's okay. It's a cool art, but you
You
just
know,
have to acknowledge that.
I
part
like
of
how
it.
you said it one time that you were saying like it's like training with a weapon. It's like a whole nother weapon. that
It
you
is.
have.
It's a
And I think-
device.
yeah,
It-
makes a
it
lot of
is,
sense.
You know, so no-gi is just like a more
I wouldn't know.
pure.
I've never trained. I've trained one. I got one free class in the gi one time.
I
And
mean, I
thought
like
was-
it.
I mean, it's one. You know.
I liked it.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I can see where it has helped me learn and master a bunch of things that I use no-gi.
Yeah.
And because it's just that you have the handles, it slows the timing down. It gives you more time to work. So if you think about it in ecological jiu-jitsu terms, you could go like, not only are we putting this person in this particular context where we're going to force them to like figure out what the fuck to do based on this goal, right? But we're going to put this device on them that's going to make it happen. Instead of 5 seconds, it's going to take 23 seconds to happen.
Yeah.
So not only are they going to learn, they're going to have more time to fucking process and think while they're actively trying to figure it out on the fly. That's what the gi does for you. So it's beneficial in that sense, but I think people aren't clearly like articulating how they just mix that like it's so beneficial to this is the way to do it. Like
Yeah.
it should all be about gi, and it's like no, that's like saying all you should do is eat carrots because carrot juice is good for you. It's stupid.
yeah.
So anyway,
Fichetti says, personally, I think we should all be naked. Primal. Maybe a loincloth.
That's no gi.
Not yet, but hopefully soon. Hopefully one day.
I think
The way Sam competes.
Well, that's Sam. Yeah.
I think that
Boy, naked.
I don't want to roll with a naked guy.
You just need to stop being a prude.
I don't even want to roll with dudes that just have spats on. Put some shorts on.
I've always preferred there be more than a layer between junk and my head.
Yeah. I was thinking about getting an apron that goes around the waist for when dudes come in with just spats on, and it's called a loan cloth, like a loan.
Boo. That's not bad. I like that.
Oh, so dumb. He's funny. Okay.
Dick bib.
I want to remind you guys to check out the Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Inside BJJ. What do you get? You get backstage content from Inside BJJ, technique videos, weekly online classes, all kinds of stuff. I'm uploading all kinds of techniques. I got more material. I got to get it up there. I've been traveling a lot and a little bit behind on my life right now. But check that out. Go to patreon.com/Inside BJJ. So let's talk real quick about the PGF qualifier. It's coming up this weekend.
Yep.
September 14th. It's at One Nation Jiu-Jitsu.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, they got 42 or 43 competitors registered. I saw Kyle Bame's name on the list.
Nice.
So, fuck, I would hate it if I was like just some dude trying to crack in and I saw his name on there. I'd be like, oh, dude, leave some for the rest of us,
Yeah.
dog. And then there's another qualifier coming up September 28th in Las Vegas. Also, super important. Tomorrow is the release date of the PGF Season 6 documentary.
Oh, finally. That's awesome.
It's called Grapplers, Legends and Legacy. I've watched the first 2 episodes. I got super secret access to watch them. Really fucking good. And what happened is during Season 6, there was the team that was doing the production of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. And then there were media people that were covering the event and also just like taking pictures of the shit ahead of time, just kind of doing like full scale coverage of everything.
Yeah.
Then there was another crew, which I believe was manned by Stuart Cooper, which he's a fucking legend in the jiu-jitsu world. This is the guy that was the only guy doing cool videos back in the day. And it was like professional cool shit. He's fucking great. I was so happy I got to meet him in Las Vegas. I literally was like, you're Stuart Cooper. I can't believe I'm talking to you right now. Like,
Yeah.
Hodger's over there. I'm like, nah. Stuart's right here. man.
Yeah.
So
You end up talking to him like a kid with all his comic books.
no, I wanted to though.
I've seen.
So they had a documentary crew who was taking footage for a documentary of the season the entire time. They had cameras embedded with the athletes. They had them everywhere. And we
Wow.
kind of knew there was like a lot of stuff going on, but not everybody knew like these guys are filming a documentary. So the whole time you could be doing something, not like nefarious or anything, but
No,
like,
right.
you have a fucking camera pop up on you,
Yeah.
right? So that's coming out. It is Grapplers, Legends and Legacy. It is the documentary of Season 6. Episode 1 is dropping tomorrow, and you could get it on the PGF World YouTube site, also on Instagram. Check them out. There's 5 episodes, and they're going to drop every Friday
Fuck yeah.
for the
Nice.
next 5 weeks. So,
Sounds great.
yeah, man. It's going to be awesome.
You said
So-
YouTube and Instagram?
yeah. Well, I think you could get more information on Instagram probably.
Yeah.
But it's really good. It really gives you a great look at Season 6 and at the PGF. And I'm really hoping it will build steam for Season 7. I think Season 7 is going to be great. I think people are going to come into Season 7 now with a much better idea because Season 6 was so popular.
Yeah.
Anything before Season 6, I think Season 5 was a big season for the PGF in that it was the transitional season where they went from maybe a little smaller to like hey,
taking the lead.
we're getting some more solid ideas. We got 4 reps in now, like,
Yeah.
and then obviously season 6 so far has been their kind of marquee season. I
Yeah.
think 7's going to be huge. Really looking forward to going.
Can't wait
going
to
there.
see what's in store for season 7, man.
Me too, man. I know it's the 205ers, so make sure you check that out. We'll have the bullpen pre-show live from Vegas every day from the venue. Same setup, so I'm stoked for that.
Sweet.
Yep. Okay. UFC 306.
Coming up
Noche.
Saturday.
Noche. O'Malley v. Marab. Let's walk through that card.
Pulling it up right now.
Heck yeah.
Should be a good one. Let's see. UFC. There we go.
Skin suit rash guards. I like it, Jesse.
Got a Sporin too, or Sporon. That's a funny one.
It's
All
like
right.
sex, but with a gi on.
Yeah.
Oh, God. It's like a rubber made out of gi material.
It's called latex.
Okay.
Can you guys see what I'm seeing?
Yeah, let's go down to like the first fight of the main card.
Okie dokie.
Let's go right there.
Right there. Ronaldo Rodriguez, Ode Osborne.
I've seen both these guys fight, but I don't remember very much about them. Let's go to the next one.
Skip.
Skip it.
Let's see. Daniel Zellhuber, Esteban Rubovics.
Can you click on Zellhuber? I want to see his record.
Yes. 7-3-5.
And then scroll down a little. Does it have his actual like guys that he fought? Oh, no, it doesn't. I see.
Oh, it does.
Oh.
It's just I'm lagging pretty hard.
Oh,
7 by knockout, 3 submission, 5 first-round fights.
Okay.
Accuracy striking is 41%. Let's see the.
I love all these stats now that they have them.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet. It really breaks it down. There's no way I'd be able to track that without how streamlined these stats
He's
are.
got a couple fights, winning streak, 3-fight winning
Bravo.
streak.
Jojos Zellhuber.
When's the last time he lost?
I am not sure.
Oh, right there. 2022.
Ogden beat him in 22.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let's see the other dude.
Sure. That's Ribovics, right? It just bumped me to that part of the thing. Sorry.
Yeah.
Get
Ribovics
my
sounds like
bearings here.
a intestinal bug. I have Ribovics.
Ribovic. Did you hear Tim got the Ribovic?
Oh, he's got Ribovics, dog.
He can't roll, dude.
What is going on with
Contagious.
this page, dude?
That's what Gordon Ryan has in his tummy. He has Ribovics. Dude,
This is not me. This is the screen.
you need internet training. Okay.
I think I've got it to stop seizing.
Okay. There it is, Esteban. 13-1. Wow, that'll be a good fight.
Yeah. Those are good records right there.
Yep. All right, let's go to the next one. I don't know enough about these guys to make a pick.
Diego Lopez, Brian Ortega.
Okay.
T-City.
This is going to be an interesting fight because
I've seen Diego Lopez fight quite a few times. He's
fucking good.
yeah. And he's fun to watch.
This is maybe. Can we take that subject?
Yes.
I think maybe. Hey, what's up, Egghead? T-City needs the win. He does need the win, but hear me out on this. I do agree, and I like Brian Ortega. He's one of the funnest fighters to watch. He's got great jiu-jitsu. It's
Yeah.
just freaking amazing jiu-jitsu. By the way, it's all old school, Henner Gracie, straight from Horian,
Yeah,
Elio, that style of jiu-jitsu.
I see.
Heat on Gracie. Like, it's not, he trained at Cobrinhas. He might have, but like he
His
more or less
foundation
kind of
is-
came up in that academy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hell of a fighter. Ranked number 3. Diego Lopez is ranked number 13. And sometimes you would think that means Ortega's 10 places above Lopez, but not exactly. Because sometimes the trajectory is going like this.
Oh,
And one guy's moving down in the rankings and the other guy's moving up.
yeah.
And the velocity is pretty fast, and they cross paths, and then boom. I don't know if this is going to be that, but it could be that. It could not be a good night for Ortega, depending on his health. I mean, the guy's been in some wars, dude.
Yeah.
And it's not even a commentary at all on his like fighting or anything like that. He's awesome. He's
he's
fucking
great.
hell of a fighter. One of the most entertaining fighters of all time. But the truth is that fighting puts a lot of mileage on you. It's super
real
hard.
quick.
It's super hard. And he's had some just bangers of fights, dude.
Yeah.
And that's probably why Lopez is the favorite.
I think it's a good matchup.
Yeah.
It's a good matchup.
It'll be
That's
fun
going to be
one.
an entertaining fight. And you got Ortega and Lopez, a couple Hispanic fighters on the Noche card. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's see. The next one is Alexa Grasau against Valentina Shevchenko. Why did they disconnect the stream? Oh, 1 hour. Jeez. It's so irritating that